If you really love me, won't you come and hug me, won't you come express your feelings, yeah. Cause I done seen many things make you turn heartless, make you turn darkness, yeah. If you really love me, won't you come and hug me, won't you come express your feelings, yeah. Cause I done seen many things make you turn heartless, make you turn to darkness, yeah. If you wanna feel my love, first you gotta feel my pain, yeah. If you wanna feel my love, first you gotta feel my pain, yeah. If you wanna feel my love, yeah. First you gotta feel my pain, yeah. If you wanna feel my love, first you gotta feel my pain, yeah. Time after time and I heard that you love me. Then be the same lips turn around and hate me. You ain't by no action, I'm losing my patience. My little cousin love to hug me and her name is Patient. Roll up my weed and you know I'm gon' face it. My girl sucked another nigga, dick, it's hard to face it. So I did the race and run up my paper. All my asses miss me, now I'm on the elevator. My chin in the air, gas hit the carburetor. Soon as you touch the money, I swear these haters wake up. Family was the first to really fuck me over. First time I ever fucked a fucking cold shoulder. Miss my nigga, Tommy Cooker with the soda. I miss my nigga, used to pull up and roll up. I miss my pop, used to drink on the Miller. First bunny past me was Reggie Miller. I wouldn't even trip because the time was real though. I miss chillin' on the hill with my kinfolk. The only time we together is a funeral. Swear it's gotta change, man, I swear it's gotta change. I done slept in the rain, I done slept in the snow. Slept in the cold till my wrist turned froze. The mama has to get in, I guess I suppose. She want a real more, tired of fucking with these niggas, yeah. If you really love me, won't you come and hug me, won't you come express your feelings, yeah. Cause I done seen many things make you turn heartless, make you turn darkness, yeah. If you really love me, won't you come and hug me, won't you come express your feelings, yeah. Cause I done seen many things make you turn heartless, make you turn to darkness, yeah. If you wanna feel my love, first you gotta feel my pain, yeah. If you wanna feel my love, first you gotta feel my pain, yeah. If you wanna feel my love, yeah. First you gotta feel my pain, yeah. If you wanna feel my love, first you gotta feel my pain, yeah. I done came a long way, I done came a long way. Fucking with the wrong one, fucking with the right one. Fuck around, ran something up, yeah. Told these niggas I was on a mission. Premonition of a nigga getting it. I swear I never changed, and I'ma keep on stacking with the gang. Me and my family maintain. Separation cause us to miss a couple meals. You coming up missing, nigga, if you trying to squeal. I write my own contract, I ain't signing no deal. Invest in yourself, cause it is what it is. Nobody standing with you unless the money coming in. I gotta hunt you down, I got a brother named Shin. Cause this ain't no game, man, this is how we win. Keep everything real, homie, never pretend. It's just the beginning, man, it's never an end. You either the predator or you the prey. But I don't pray no more, I just walk out the faith. But I ain't only pussy ass nigga, no great. No love for these hoes, no you cannot get a taste. No love for these niggas, you can't see me in my face. No love for these hoes, no you cannot get a taste. No. If you really love me, won't you come and hug me, won't you come express your feelings, yeah. Cause I done seen many things make you turn heartless, make you turn darkness, yeah. If you really love me, won't you come and hug me, won't you come express your feelings, yeah. Cause I done seen many things make you turn heartless, make you turn to darkness.
Man, we just give thanks to you guys, man, right now. We give thanks to you right now for your participation, being here with us at In God We Trust Academy podcast today. And as always, it's always a pleasure to be able to bring you this information and have these type of talks with you guys on the regular. So just know that we do appreciate you. I hope you guys been having a wonderful time with your family and everything of that nature, right? And just being safe out here as well, right? All praise to the Most High. And again, we give thanks, man. We're going to keep on the vibe before we get started. Today, we're going to be speaking on due process of law and evidence. And I'm going to show you exactly how there's no creditor that ever can prove any form of direct injury, right? We're going to talk about that today. So your duty is just to share, man. Share, share, share. That's all I ever ask for you guys is just to hit the share button, man, and share with others. That is very important that we do that, right? To make sure that we share with others. So, man, I appreciate it, man. Again, before you even do, seriously.
Told you I had to be my only reason. I told you I'ma shine off for season. I told you I'ma do this shit forever. LIP and you know when it's forever. I told you I had to be my only reason. I told you I'ma shine off for season. I told you I'ma do this shit forever. LIP and you know when it's forever. Had to turn up on these niggas. Had to show on the real me. Tell me how can they feel me. Don't give a fuck if they feel me. Love is really what feel me. Your soul is really what heal me. Yeah, we got it out the mud. Yeah, we do it for the fun. Ain't life supposed to be fun? Tell me what should I run? I think I'ma run up them bands. LIP, watch how we stand. You know when united we stand. Together we got the plan. Yeah, divided we fall. You know we must be y'all. Yeah, you know I be y'all. And everything is law. No time for these raw. Look what me and my queen built. Keep these haters on hush lip. This money, man, we gon' flip. Every year been our year. It's all love up in here. I told you I had to be my only reason. I told you I'ma shine off for season. I told you I'ma do this shit forever. LIP and you know when it's forever. I told you I had to be my only reason. I told you I'ma shine off for season. I told you I'ma do this shit forever. LIP and you know when it's forever. I done some dope, some real niggas. Been in position to kill niggas. Scenes I chose to heal niggas. Some of them don't wanna hear niggas. That's cool cause I don't feel niggas. Fashion money make it die quick. Real shit in the hood nigga. They don't understand the game nigga. Yeah, I see you for the fame nigga. Yeah, I really be some lame nigga. Please stay out my lane nigga. Probably get drunk by the way nigga. Still trying to get paid nigga. Fuck around, run on some made nigga. I ain't even trying to play with you. Sing it straight to your making nigga. It's life behind all mine. I'ma just living in peace. I'm shining right in the east. Together we all gon' feast. None of my people the least. Swiss and sweets and least. This life we live so sweet. I'm screaming LIP. I told you I had to be my only reason. I told you I'ma shine off for season. I told you I'ma do this shit forever. LIP and you know when it's forever. I told you I had to be my only reason.
You gotta be the reason you get up. You gotta love you, man. You gotta be the reason to want it more. Yes, 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 yes. You got to be the reason to want everything going on in your life right now to increase it. You have to take that into your own mental state and make that decision that no matter what type of things come your way, that you're going to always, right? You're going to always stand, right? That you're going to be ready to go through whatever may come, right? Because we can't slack off this, right? We have to be ready. Ready, 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 ready. Ready as God has made us on this beautiful day, right? We have to be ready. So make sure that you get yourselves together out here and do what we supposed to do, man. Because God is good, y'all. And we have to take that into consideration here because God is great. You're breathing, you're living, you're able to make a change today. You wake up and you get to make a decision. Do you choose life? And every decision that we make, and it's either choosing life or death. Do we choose life by the things that we tend into? right? By the food that we eat, by the energy and life that we speak over one another, etc. Are we choosing life, right? All right. So, man, as again though, appreciate you guys just for tuning in. As always, we had a great time Wednesday. So if you missed out on Wednesdays, Wednesday nights on Christmas Day or whatever, so if you missed out on that, we had a great time, great conversation, great vibes, listening to good music, oldies, and things of that nature. So it was a good vibe, man. And we'll probably do a little bit of more of that every now and then, just to vibe with you guys. But some of y'all like, oh, I didn't know you listen to all that, man. I told you I'm musically inclined. I listen to all kind of music. I listen to country too, so you'd be surprised what kind of country songs I'll pull out or whatever the case may be. Like, I listen to it all. If it sound good, it feel good, then it gets played, right? Don't forget about work sessions, guys. Mondays, Wednesdays, 11 a.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Central Time. All right, so make sure that you register for work sessions. So everything that you see on the screen right now, make sure that you do it to be inside of work sessions so that you can come in and ask your questions along with us, right? We want you to be able to ask those particular questions, right? Okay, so that you want to be able to ask. Now, I'll be trying to save y'all the time from having to go get a consultation when you can just come into work session, listen. Somebody's probably already in your situation. We've talked about it, handled it, or your question can be answered there. But if you just insist on doing the consultation, then that's up to you. But for the most part, all you got to do is be there. All right. Also, don't forget that in God We Trust Academy, we're now offering a one-on-one full trust setup along with the In God We Trust conference replay and templates. The cost is starting at $1,200, and that is completing a full trust for you, and also coming with the conference and the templates to also for you to read over and listen to the conference as well to know what each documentation is for as well. Okay. Make sure you do everything on the screen that you see to get into that. And, also visit ingodwetrustacademy.com. Most of our classes are there as well. We also got Teachable coming up, so we're pretty much finished with that. We got a few things to go do when it comes to automation, but however, everything is about to go exactly how we've been planning. So, all thanks to that. Everything that you guys hear from this point on is for education and religious purposes only, right? So if anybody seeking any type of, religious advice, legal advice, excuse me, please go seek a legal advisor, as it is my religious duty to speak my religious experience and truth with you guys here today. Now, my religion is law, if you must know. What is your religion? Law. It is law. It is law, and law which governs all, right? And we're all subjected to the form of what we call natural law. So we serve this by being in the subjection of having to follow the natural order of things. So that is my religion. My religion is justice. My religion is peace. My religion is love. All right. My religion is truth, right? Those things, law within itself, right? So let's jump into this. Are y'all ready? If you're ready, drop some ones and let's talk about some things, because last night I've been doing, as I always do, I'm studying and I'm typing up, I'm handling people's documentations. I actually handle like 4 or 5 cases. So, but just got done with all of those things. And I said, I know something here. And it just dawned on me like, And I started like, I'm going back and forth with they have this AI lawyer that you can like go deal with and stuff like that. So we're just communicating about the laws and stuff like that, money and everything like that, like just the creation of money. Where does it even come from? And it boils all the way down to the fact that the only way money is created is by expanding the ledger. And the only way the ledger expand is based upon a promise to pay coming from the people. So this is something that is constantly done. So when we sit back and we look at things, we have to ask ourselves this: where did the money come from? See, if we follow the money, we're going to find out every single thing that we want to know, right? All we got to do is follow the money. So everybody put in there, follow the money, follow the money. But we're going to explain due process, though, because everything has to be done through due process. Okay. And due process has a lot to do with evidence. Does someone has the standing to bring a claim? Do they have a right? Do they have a cause of action to grant relief? You know? Follow the money. That's all you gotta do. Ask the right questions. So what are the questions that we want to literally ask? Okay. So when it comes to due process, well, there has to be facts. And along with facts, there has to be evidence. Right. And along with the evidence, there has to come law. And then with law, then there has to be the actual relief. So if you got the facts, the evidence, and you got the law, then the law to go along with it, then you're able to be granted relief. But what happens when these things are not present? Because we consider a fact. So facts is just a statement. It could be known that it is a fact that you entered into a contract on some particular day. It could be known as a fact that you promised to pay a certain amount of money. Okay. It can be known as a fact for whatever situation. But here's the thing. They called you a borrower. So in order for you to be a borrower, that means that they specifically gave you something that they owned and loaned it to you. I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying, because this is where the facts start disappearing at. Did they actually loan you something? Okay. Did they give consideration is what people would say. Because to be in consideration would mean that they had to loan you the money. Did the money directly come from this individual? And what they do, we know they take the promissory notes and they expand the ledger. So the ledger gets expanded by them adding this as a financial asset, right? And it goes down on the liability side for accounts payable, which means they have to credit this out to your account, right? But they also take this particular note and they monetize it at the Federal Reserve. And it's monetized there. And the Federal Reserve, it expands its ledger, and then it gives an advancement out, right? So it kicks out the advance to the bank. And the bank does what it calls fractional reserve, right? And that's what it's going to do every single time. But you got to ask yourself, okay, so in order for you to make a claim or say these type of things, you have to prove something. You have to prove that there is a direct injury towards you, that you took a direct loss in this situation. You also have to prove that you gave consideration. Did you give consideration? Because that has to be proven. It has to be linked to a direct injury. So remember, they called you a borrower. But if they never gave consideration, well, is it a fact or is it false that you are a borrower? Let's see what the people have to say in the comments. What do you guys have to say? What do you got to say, man? I'm going to vibe a little bit and let that contemplate on y'all mind. Vibe a little bit. Come on. Okay, they didn't loan or give consideration. Let's go. Take off in a demon like it's stolen. Yeah. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we chosen. Somebody said they not the barber. Take off in a demon like it's stolen.
give me a reason. Pull up, swerve on them. I'm in the demon, doing donuts in the SRT. Scoot on, hit the red button, I'm gone. Pretty little baby, red bone. Oh yeah, get up out of my way. I'm in my zone. I'm switching up lanes. I'm cutting you out.
Let's go. Somebody said, how do we prove we've given consideration? Easy. You gave a financial asset. You did give consideration. You gave a promise, which is consideration. You gave value.
You are the chosen one.
You gave a bond.
Anything you put your mind to. Put your mind to. Yeah. Take off in the demon like it's stolen.
Yeah.
Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we chosen,
Alrighty, man. So listen, man, this is what y'all got to start understanding here. The basis of this is a form of a promise to pay, which is considered to be that there are obligations here. And the obligations that are in the contract are considered to be a financial asset, to both parties. The obligation that must be fulfilled by the bank and the obligation that must be filled by the alleged borrower. But the question is, guys, they keep calling you a borrower, but they never show that they ever lended you any money, so you could never be a borrower. What you are is the originator of the credit. What you are is the actual creditor. What you are is the actual grantor of this whole entire situation, because you granted the financial asset within itself so the money could be created, right? That was the whole point and purpose. So now what we have here is people operating with us as intermediates here, right? What you call the middleman. And the only thing they are doing is just security and intermediaries handling this particular transaction for you. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more. And they cannot prove any form of direct injury at all because they never gave consideration. The note securitized. And it was monetized. So the fact that it was monetized, that is our situation here, family. But see, all of this goes into due process of law. So they have to prove. Now, a lot of you will be like, well, they'll get the contract. You are the one that is a fool if you allow a copy to be entered in as evidence. Okay? I want you to think about that. How do you know something is the original without the copy being present? Think about that. How is it possible? See, it's crazy and insane to let anybody bring you a copy of any damn thing without the original being present. And the original has to be entered in as evidence and able to be examined there at the court. If it's not, it's false. Right? It does not hold any weight. So what you can do to this, you can do a motion to suppress forms of evidence. We can actually prove, right? Somebody said how to prove it being monetized. Easily. Go look at their prospectus. They tell you all you got to go do is look at these banks that you're getting loans from. If it's an auto loan, go look at their asset-backed securities when it comes to auto loan. And then read their prospectus, and it's going to tell you that they literally securitize it. They monetize it all day freaking long. You got all your proof. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're chartered to do in the midst of. And if they don't do it correctly, then it also means that they're in violations. And can and will be in trouble with the Security Exchange Commission. So ain't no getting away from it. You see what I'm saying? So, but it all goes back to evidence. This is why I say due process of law. You will be protected in due process of law at all times, no matter whether civil or criminal. You need to understand that because they have to prove these type of things. Prove it. Right? See, we know the money is literally created at the Federal Reserve out of thin freaking air, just added an extra, expanded the ledger, and issued out the actual currency to the actual bank. And then the bank expands its ledger. Same way. So really, there was no consideration where they can show any form of damages. Yep. So understand that part. Yes, I need the original to compare with the copy. So if they ask you, I'm not aware of this contract. This doesn't look like a contract I signed. I didn't sign this. And all you got to do, if they bring a copy, did you sign the copy? No, I didn't. I don't see a signature where I signed the copy. You know? It's just that simple. They have to have proof. So remember, it's what? Truth, proof, law, relief. Truth, proof, law, relief. They got to have the truth. So one, they can't consider you a borrower because you never borrowed anything. So that would be false. Now they got to have the evidence. They cannot use a copy because a copy does not suffice the authenticity of the documentations here. So we don't even know. And I'm not going to let you bring that in here. So you can literally do a motion to suppress their forms of evidence. That's it. Make these people stand on what they are saying, no matter who and what it is. Due process of law will always help you. And they'll be like, well, it's a certified copy. How do we know it's a certified copy if the original is not here? I'm sorry, we just can't take your word up on any of this. None whatsoever. Right? So remember, facts only stands until it's disputed. So once facts are disputed, and then if they're disputed with facts, then the facts become truth. Right? So facts can only stand until disputed. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you don't do any of this and ask for this type of stuff, then you're going to waive your rights every single freaking time. So if you let them enter in a certified copy of some type of note without any form of objection, and the reason why is of the objection, and all you got to say is, well, Your Honor, how are we going to prove that this is a certified copy without the actual original? It's not possible. And this is not a contract that I've signed. I don't see a signature where I signed here. This is a copy of some form of signature. And to my understanding, this would be considered to be counterfeit and or forms of forgery or whatever you want to call it, or robo-signing going on here. I don't know, but it ain't mine. We got power. We got power out here, people. But I'm telling you, we have to sit down and think. Because it's now the burden of proof is upon them to prove everything that they are saying. And that is what we want to do. Right? We want to make sure we make them prove it. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure we ask them to prove it. So all we got to do is start thinking, man, like, just think about it, yo, because it's something serious. It's something serious. And you need to start thinking about that part. I'm finna find something for y'all. So, listen. For a creditor to enforce a claim, they must prove they suffered a direct, tangible injury. This means the creditor must show they loaned their own money or incurred a financial loss. All right. They remain the rightful party in interest. In other words, the holder of the note. In securitized loan, creditors often act as servicers for a trust or another entity. So remember, if anytime you're dealing with a servicer, if they are in the form of a trust, right? Or for an entity, which it still goes into what you call a special purpose vehicle. So if they cannot prove they are the rightful holder of the debt, their standing to enforce the claim is also invalid. But then you got to realize, even if the trust, so let's say another entity comes up and says that, that they have the note. Well, they got to prove where they gave you the money. You see what I'm saying? They have to prove where they gave you the money, which means there's no consideration here. So I don't owe you a dime. Show me where you had the money. And then it's against the law for you to use the depositor's money. You can't do that. So yeah, show me where you got it. So under contract law, for a contract to be enforceable, there must be valid consideration, something of value exchanged by both parties. So in the case of a loan, the lender must provide the borrower with something of value, actual money or credit. If the lender cannot prove they provided consideration, such as lending their depositors funds or their own money, the loan agreement, is challenged. It's over. Right? It's over. So negotiable instruments in monetization, promissory notes like those signed for car loans or mortgages are negotiable instruments under the UCC. Once signed, the note is often sold or securitized, and its value is monetized by the financial institution. Anytime you sell something, it's a form of monetization. So anytime that they consider to take yours and monetize something just to end the creation of the money, then guess what? They did not lend you anything. There was no form of consideration or anything of that nature, right? Still. So the borrower's signature essentially creates a note which the lender can use as a financial instrument to raise funds, right? Meaning selling it to investors, which is monetizing. So if the lender monetizes a note without disclosing this process, it may raise questions about whether the borrower truly received the lender's own money. And it's not in one single loan or contract that you have. They never disclose to you that is going under a form of monetizing or a securitization process, and that they're going to trade off and it's going to be used and sold with the investors. Right? That is what has to happen. So there's a misrepresentation of borrower and lender here. So the creditor often referred to individual as borrowers, implying that the lender loaned them its own money. But you guys got to go back. Remember, it's called extension. Extending credit. So where did the credit extend from? Well, remember who they borrowed from. The government said we're going to borrow from the people. So the people automatically are extending their credit. And then that credit is extended privately to the banks, and then it goes to the actual, it's extended privately to your U.S. citizen that you use to social with. And then it's given to the banks, and then the banks give it to the Federal Reserve. And then the Federal Reserve issues it out in the public realm to the bank. And then the bank issues out in the public realm to the actual U.S. citizen. But what happened is that it got taxed with everything. They passed the tax on to the U.S. citizen here, not realizing that, well, you were the first investor. So if they're going to do any of that, they're going to have to definitely compensate you. You see what I'm saying? Some of them say it will be sold. Some of them does not. But even if they saying that, that's still admitting to monetization. So if it says that, then circle it, and there's your proof. It's monetized. But it only says that it's going to be sold in default. That's another thing. Like, they only saying that they will sell it if you are, like, in default. They have the right to sell it to a third party or whatever the case may be in order to get what they want. It's what they try to play it as. So I'm saying, but they never say, they're not going to tell you they do that from the beginning. Right? Yes, you can do a motion to compel the original book entry, journey entry, any important documentation, exportation document, deposits, receipts, deposit slips. You can do all of that. So that is true. You can definitely motion to compel these things to actually prove everything that you're saying. And remember, that is where equity is. Equity is in your emotions. That is how you move the court. That is how you get the court to hear you or do whatever that you want them to do. If you want to enter evidence, evidence has to be given by motion. If you write an affidavit, that affidavit has to be entered in as a motion and as evidence through a motion. That's the only way the things that you're saying are going to even be considered facts. It's not facts until it's entered in as evidence. That's another thing. It's the reason why we lose a lot of shit, because we think we can just send an affidavit in and that's it. Nope. And behind the affidavit, it should be a motion to do something. One, you're entering the evidence and the motion that you're compelling them to do based up off your affidavit, right? That you're stating. And the affidavit just means that you're under penalty and perjury, right? So now, if the creditor monetized the promissory note or used other financial instruments to fund the loan, they may not have used their own resources. They didn't. All right, this can lead to arguments that creditor was not truthful about their role in the transaction. In a bankruptcy case, it's the same thing. We can make them have to prove it. So even if you're in bankruptcy cases, you got the motion to object to any claim from creditors and make them prove everything. You can make them do it right there in that court, anywhere. Nobody can come and make a claim without proof. They can't you shouldn't allow them to bring copies, right? At all. Don't let them bring copies. But we do. We should not, though. No copies allowed. None. So I hope you guys can understand that. And exactly what I am saying to you. Drop some ones. Because, like, you got to realize your affidavit is only considered if it's as a form of facts. It's a statement of facts that you're saying is true. So if these are facts, then they can be as evidence. Just as a judicial notice is considered evidence and considered to be facts, which means it could be entered in the same thing, right? Treated as the same type of thing. Who calls sovereign citizens? And this is how you go to jail. Well, we got a hater on here. Everybody say, hey, hater. Hi, hater. Well, we've been doing this for so long. Go advertise for us and tell people that we're over here teaching this stuff. Oh, Jesus. All right, family. So I'm finna show you something else, too. Yeah, user, whenever you have a real name, then I'll decide to talk to you. But you don't have a real name, so we don't know if you're real or what. So we don't deal with fiction characters. Fictional people. I ain't got time to delete him, y'all. Let them stay around. All these comments he getting me, man. We gets paid, yo. Keep commenting. Thank you. I appreciate it. They think that stuff be hurting. We be winning. All right, I'm finna read something to y'all, but I'm trying to find it. Laugh my ass off. He colorable. Hey, that's funny. I like the way you said that. He's colorable. Oh, me. Hey, everybody said, hey there, hater. That's what's up. But like I'm telling you guys, though, man, it all goes back into you proving who and what you are in relation to these situations. Don't just accept anything, guys. You have to ask the right questions, um, and you will win. You will definitely win. It's guaranteed to win. Same thing with the IRS. IRS cannot take something from you without due process of law either. So they can make all the threats like they're going to take something. You just got to have to know how to actually question these people and things of that nature. And once you learn how to do that, it changes, you know what I'm saying, everything for you. You just need to learn how to ask the right questions. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I can't find out where I did with it, guys. But I was going to read to you about like just money and stuff like that. Just so you can see it. Question: why does MNRP require copies of BC and SSN? Because if you're a part of this nation and you get in some shit and we got to represent you, then how else we going to represent you and do certain stuff on your behalf if we don't have it? But that's a question you could have literally sent to us in the inbox and asked that question. But since you want to ask publicly, I'll tell you, right? That's just like right now. If you go join another country, are you going to ask a question them the same thing while they're going to ask you for these certain things? Because they are. But no better than to question us, right? Because we just look like this. But nah, it's love, bro. But I just you can ask me that safely. But I know what I'm trying to get y'all to understand though. Like when it comes to that, like we do ask for certain things and in MNRP in the relations to you, because again, people get in shit, and we have to represent them because when you locked up. You know what I'm saying? When you locked up, ain't nobody ain't like just think about being locked up. Nobody knows you in there. No phone call. They don't take you to see a judge for over a week or whatever. And it happens to people all the time. So unless you got somebody out here representing you, then it's going to be hard. And I'm telling you, I experienced that firsthand. If I didn't have somebody out at the time, at one point in time, around, I think it's like 2019, if I didn't have somebody outside help representing me and doing things on my behalf for me at that particular time, then they didn't give me, look, they told me it was a cash bond, and I either paid them the cash bond or I had to do 250 days. There was no court date. There was no nothing. And I was like, bro, that's not true. You can't do that. That is a violation of due process of law. If you're going to arrest me, first you got to have the warrant, and you got to take me before a magistrate, first and foremost, to make sure that everything was followed correctly. And if you didn't do that, then you already violate, right? You see what I'm saying? So that is the whole entire point. So I was in there, and I didn't even have a phone call till a few, a day or so, whatever, and I didn't get into the front of the judge till almost like 5-6 days later. And I didn't know half the stuff I know now, but I just represented trust, and it was dealing from a child support case. We ended up winning. We won. I was released within 17 days. I didn't do 250 days, and I didn't pay $5,000. But my whole entire point is that shit can happen to you. Like real talk. And, if you don't got nobody, then it makes it hard. For real. Not saying it can't be done, because you got to be on point. You got to be on point and know what you know. But I just remember when I was in there, though, all I did was I got on the kiosk and I just read the law. Read it every day. Read different case laws about different stuff, and just was reading about trust, reading about this, reading about that. So that's all I spent my time in there doing. So as long as I had the time on the kiosk a day to do that stuff, I did it. I absolutely did it. But it was quite an experience, and that's why I keep telling y'all, like, nobody's exempt from going through bullshit. Like, I just went through some bullshit. Y'all just witnessed that, right? I just showed you guys to where I was traveling and my truck got took, and yeah. So now I had to go back and get that and all kind of stuff, right? It still ain't done. We still got to go to court on the 9th. But I don't know. Something in my mind and my heart tell me, they're going to send me something pretty soon saying this case is dismissed, especially what I just typed up for them now, because what I'm giving them right now, it's on a whole new level. And this all goes to due process, though. So this is me talking about this will help you guys, right, as well. So I did a motion to compel the prosecution to provide evidence, and they need to prove their claims. So what I'm asking them to do is, one, they need to prove that the enforcement of licensing, registration, and towing requirements infringes upon the constitutional right to travel personal and non-commercial purposes. So it says, I'm challenging the validity of the charges based on the violation of the fundamental right? So, we want to know, do the towing and impoundment of the defendant's vehicle were conducted without procedural safeguards of the prosecution? They have failed to provide evidence demonstrating that these requirements directly promote public safety, on that the defendant's actions cause harm or injury as well. And the structure of the municipal court, where the court financially benefits from fines and penalties, creates a conflict of interest that undermines judicial impartiality, violating the 5th and 4th Amendment. So the point is a municipal court cannot be the actual judge and the prosecutor at the same time, because they're benefiting. They're going to benefit from this. So the fact that they're benefiting from this particular case, then they can't be on the case. So that's another thing, right? So this motion seeks to relief to ensure prosecution meets its evidentiary burden and that the defendant's constitutional rights are upheld. So first, we have the right to travel is an inherent God-given liberty. We have a right to travel upon the land. Key word, land. Don't ever forget that. Anytime we speak up on something, we're going to connect and speak on the land, because everything, no matter what they talk about, if they want to say, oh, well, this is private such and such, well, it's built on the land. It ain't never private amongst the people. Anything that goes on is public. And that's just real, unless you are in a private capacity and occupation of land of your own house type situation, right? But anything else, that's bullshit. So just so we understand that part, right? So now, all right, so now we got that's the right to travel is recognized by the founders' fundamental liberty and codified in the Constitution. As stated in the Declaration, independent governments are instituted to protect such inherent right, not impose undue burdens upon them. So the public highways as extensions of the land. The public highways constructed upon the land are integral to the right to travel. The state may regulate privileges related to commerce, but not infringe upon personal non-commercial travel. So what we're saying is, hey, you built a highway up on the land, and that which is attached to the land belongs to the land, and the land belongs to the people. Simple. So we still have our right to travel the land, right? The distinction between rights and privilege. The Supreme Court has held that the state cannot convert a constitutional right into a privilege requiring a license or fee. And we got Thompson versus Smith and Kent versus Dulles supporting that as well. And the procedural deficiencies in the towing, they violated the 4th, 5th, and the 14th as well. There was no actual particular motion. I mean, there was no warrant there. So they have to give the warrant. We're asking them to provide the warrant to take the vehicle, the automobile, right? So I got to prove that too. Lack of evidence, harm of injury, criminal liability requires proof of harm or an injured party. The prosecution has failed to demonstrate that the defendant action caused any harm or injury, rendering the charges baseless under common law principles. And the conflict of interest in municipal court. Judicial impartiality is constitutional requirement. Courts are required to remain neutral arbiters under the 5th and 14th Amendments. Acting as both adjudicator and indirect beneficiary of fines and penalties undermines impartiality and violates due process, right? So separation of powers. The judiciary role is distinct from the executive branch prosecutional function. Courts cannot act as both prosecutor and judge without violating constitutional principles. Turney versus Ohio. A judge with a financial interest in convictions violates due process. So again, that takes you back. You can use that just up on child support cases, right then and there. Ward versus Village of Monroeville. A court cannot function impartially when it relies on fines, fees, or revenue. as well. Caperton versus a Massey Coal Company. Even the appearance of bias undermines judicial legitimacy. So the municipal courts system derives revenue from fines, fees, and penalties, creating a inherent conflict of interest. So this structural bias undermines the defendant's right to a fair trial and violates constitutional safeguards. So now we just stripped them of their whole capacity to even host a court. It's out the door. And you know what? They all get money on their pensions from these cases when they retire. So keep in mind. Evidentiary burden of the prosecution. The prosecution bears the burden of proving that the enforcement of license, registration, and towing measures. So we want them that we want to know that this directly promotes public safety, and it's not about the money, because remember, they're always trying to reach their what? Quote. That it complies with procedural safeguards. Documentation must show that towing and impoundment of the defendant's vehicle adhere to legal procedures, including notice and probable cause requirements. They got to prove it. No is not revenue driven, right? So they got to prove that the state must provide revenue and expeditious records of demonstrating that their enforcement is not driven primarily by financial gain. So they got to prove. Because if it's not about financial gain, here's the thing. If a person don't have money, because, all right, let's say you might have an $80,000 truck or something, I don't know. And you could have won the truck, but the fact it cost you that it was, $80,000 or whatever, you got to pay one of the highest damn registration tags. You're looking at about $400-500 sometimes. Just depends. But what if you don't got that money? Right? Are they going to allow you to still participate and be up on the highway because maybe you still know how to drive? Let's say you do got your driver's license, but you don't got the tag. So now they're going to penalize you, which means that it makes it about money, because your failure to have the ability to pay, right? Because you don't have the ability to pay, now you're being punished for it. And it takes away something that you already had a right to. Got to think about that. So, involves an injured party. Evidence must show that the defendant actually caused harm or injury to another party as well. So they got to show proof of this. So we need empirical evidence supporting safety jurisdiction for license and registration, proof of compliance with procedural safeguards, and revenue expeditious records showing that the measures are not revenue driven. We need to know that. Stay further proceedings. We want to dismiss all charges. We're going to order restitution. And we're going to grant any form of additional relief. Now, after that, we give them a memorandum to attach with that. But we also did a proposed order. But what I also did was a motion to suppress evidence for relief. And this is the reason why I did that. All right. I already did the statement of facts, etc. So I'm just going to tell you the legal basis for suppression. So we're saying that the initial stop lacked lawful justification and probable cause. The alleged failure to yield the right of way did not involve harm to an injured party, damaged property, or a public safety risk, rendering the stop baseless. Under Delaware versus Prowse, the traffic stop must be based on specific articulable facts of violation of threat to public safety. The defendant vehicle was parked on private property at the time of the detention, further negating any claim of continuing public safety issues. All right, so they didn't have no right to tow the car if it was not on the public highways at all. It was literally sitting on private property in the parking lot. And if these people didn't call you saying, come tow this car, it need to be towed, there's trespassing, etc., then that was no reason, right? So there was no public safety here going on. And also, the search of the defendant's vehicle was unconstitutional, so that violates the Fourth Amendment, and the claim of an inventory search is invalid because it was a pretext for a general search. The U.S. Supreme Court has held that inventory search must adhere to standardized procedure and cannot be used to bypass constitutional protections either. So unlawful towing and seizure of the vehicle. The towing and impoundment of the defendant's vehicle violated the due process rights. No valid warrant signed by a judge was presented at the scene as required under the Fourth Amendment, and the seize occurred on a private property without evidence of a legal basis or exigent circumstances. Exclusionary rule. Evidence obtained as a result of unconstitutional actions must be suppressed under the exclusionary rule. So this means that it prevents the use of evidence derived from unlawful searches and seizure. The fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine bars any evidence or subsequent actions resulting from unlawful stop, detention, and towing. Wong Sun versus the United States. So now I just suppressed all the evidence based upon anything that they try to use as evidence, right? It's gone. It is gone. I don't think y'all just understand what y'all just heard. So I'm going to give y'all a little bit to process that. Put your comments in there and tell me what you think you just heard. Because, see, you can use the motion to suppress the evidence to keep these people from putting in these copies of your particular contracts and things like that. You can suppress that evidence. Why? Because it does not authenticates. It does not show the authenticity of a contract, right? So keep that in mind, right? Ain't something good, man. That is so lit.
This sound like Quill.
Y'all learned something today? It's a violation of Rule 602. Absolutely, Frank Black, which is what? That is considered due process of law. Rules and procedures are part of due process as well.
This sound like Quill. Yeah, take off in the demon like it's stolen.
Yeah, drop in the comment what you learned today.
Execute the plan, yeah, we chosen, Whoa, take off in the demon like it's stolen. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we chosen, Give me a reason. Pull up, swerve on them. I'm in the demon, doing donuts in the SRT. Scoot on, hit the red button, I'm gone. Pretty little baby, red bone. Get up out of my way. I'm in my zone. I'm switching up lanes. I'm cutting you out. Making I'm a demon. Different color. For every season. I'm running up. Now I'm gone. This sound like Quill. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to. You put your mind to. Yeah. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to. Put your mind to. Yeah. Take off in the demon like it's stolen. Like it's stolen. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we chosen, Whoa, take off in the demon like it's stolen. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we chosen, This sound like Quill. Pull up in the Challenger, you don't wanna challenge us. Ooh, yeah. Pull up in the Challenger, but you don't wanna challenge us. You know, landed on Pluto, you know she's hot. Rich froze, blown on gas.
Come on, y'all. There's a lot more in here than that. Tell me what y'all learned today.
Stick to the script, cheat code. Ooh, I run it up, and I'm gone. This sound like Quill. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to. You put your mind to. Yeah. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to.
That's where y'all mess up, thinking that you're not supposed to play the game of what you consider to be motion. You got to realize this. The only way the court move is by motion. Listen to the word. I move the court. I motion the court. What are you motioning the court? I want the motion the court to dismiss based upon the evidence of facts, which is could be your affidavit, it could be the judicial notice, it could be everything that you presented within the case. But without that motion, that judge is not moving. I promise you that.
This sound like Quill.
Which is usually mainly reasons why court cases are constantly being continued, because you, the people, are not understanding how to move the court to get your relief in what you're actually saying, right? A lot of most everything we're saying, we're absolutely on point, but you got to realize communication, right? So if it's a certain way that you have to communicate within the court, and that is. So if you don't do these type of things, you're going to lose, right? You're going to lose. The crown king of England is the original. I don't believe none of that. I don't think that. Matter of fact, I know the crown is not the original jurisdiction. The original jurisdiction is the people. It's where the people are sitting as 12, as the jury, where the people get to decide. That is always the original jurisdiction. Anything that is done without the people is not the original jurisdiction. So I just want that to be made it clear. It's the people. Everything starts with the union of the people. The people is the first union. The states did not unite. The people united and created the states. The union states united to create what we call the federal. So now that's my whole entire point. You can't do anything without the first union. The whole entire thing was set up for the people to be sovereign. So how are the people to be sovereign? When it comes to autonomy, it means those who sit and judge. Well, who are the people that judge? It is the jury. The only thing the judge does is just sentence based upon the choice of the verdict of the jury. That's it. That's how it's supposed to go. Which just shows that the original jurisdiction lies in who? The people. It's going to always be that way, right? The people have the power to speak. The people have the power to move the court. The people have the power to make claims of injuries, etc. This is a fact. The kingdom of England is from 927. Well, the people is time immemorial. You can't put a date on us. We will always I can prove that we're going to proceed in nature anything that you can classify as in these fictionals. Always. So even if you want to say the kingdom of England or the Pope and the crown, the man supersedes that. We supersede it at all time. Our rights, we're going to be first. Grand jury is not a part of the executive, judicial, legislative branch of law. Exactly, because it is its own form of body. That is a fact. Straight up, man. So I hope you guys learned a little something today. You know what I'm saying? I hope you learned something here today. And now you said the English people formed the crown, which means you just admitted to what we said. It's the people. The autonomy still lies in the people. And then when you get back down to people, well, then you just realize that you can't control my mind and my body, and I can't control yours. So sovereignty is only into the individual of that which he controls. You control your life, your body, which is the reason why we cannot make laws, etc., based upon controlling your behavior. We can't. You're free to do whatever you want, but there's consequences if you cause harm to others. This is a fact. Big old fact. Yep. So, like I said, man, it's been great. tuning in with you guys today. Hope you guys learned something from this. Take it, use it, right? Use it to your advantage, man. Go study, go learn even more. Go read the rules and procedures. Go read about evidence. Go read about due process of law. Understanding what has to be done in order for them, right? Understand that. All right. So this is neither here nor there to speak on. I always appreciate you guys, again, as I would say, just for tuning in with us, and make sure that you log in with us for the work sessions and things of that nature. We got some class coming up soon that we're going to do. We're going to let y'all get a little break from the holidays and stuff like that. We know y'all been balling all month. So, you know, rushing to buy presents and presents and using the presidents, the dead presidents, to go and party and everything else, right? So that's what I know. So we're going to take some more time and we're going to get ready to do some stuff, right? So y'all have a great and beautiful day.
So tell me why we arguing, and why you in my dreams again, and why you always wanna fuck with me. I mean, after all, we just friends. So tell me why it's love and pain, why your tears hit my window pane, and why you let us scream my name. After all, we just friends.
So tell me why we arguing, and why you in my dreams again, and why you always wanna fuck with me. I mean, after all, we just friends. Now tell me why it's love and pain, why your tears hit my window pane, and why you love to scream my name. After all, we just friends. I remember when we first met, we made it official that we would only be friends. Seemed like the conversation we had, yeah, it brought it to an end. You let me in your mind, open up your closet just for me to see your concept. You felt like it was nothing left. Open my closet just to give you a second breath. Run, expecting me to chase, but I just get high, expecting to see your face. Now we touching and feeling, the feelings evolving into our hearts, and we about to evolve. You know what I mean? Baby, some kind of way, but I just see that in the future. But tell me one thing, with all this thing mixed in, how can we be friends? So tell me why we arguing, and why you in my dreams again, and why you always wanna fuck with me. I mean, after all, we just friends.
So tell me why it's love and pain, why your tears in my window pane, and why you let us scream my name. After all, we just friends. After all, we just friends. I ain't even tripping, nigga. I know where we stand.